Hey everybody, welcome to the ranch. Today we are in the greenhouse and we're getting ready to go into the garden to put some more items in for spring. Now, today we are joining in on a collaboration that Dani over Wicked Awesome Gardening has going on. There's some great channels that have participated and we're inviting you to do the same thing. So go ahead and click on the link, 5 must-haves and never agains. I think that's it. It's gonna be on the screen somewhere below, maybe around these plants somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, click on that link, go check it out, and join in if you have a chance to. And so right now, we're going to go to the garden, and I'm going to tell you the 5 plants, 5 items that I would definitely 100% grow again in my garden, Lord willing. So let's get started. So the number 5 on what I would grow again, for sure, 100% is going to go in my garden, are herbs. I love growing herbs like basil, dill, and oregano. These are my 3 favorites, and so that's my number 5. I would definitely grow these again. I love putting them in different recipes, and I love having basil, tomato, and butter chicken. It's one of my favorite things to make during the summer, and my family loves it. So herbs for sure is my number 5. Put in your garden, must have. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are my number 4 of the top 5 things I would grow again. These are my cucumber starts that I started from seed this year. I would 100% grow cucumbers in my garden every year that I can. We love eating dill pickles, sweet pickles. I love making relish, and we just do so much with cucumbers. And so 100% cucumbers are not hard for me to grow. I love to trellis them up and watch them grow and pick gobs of cucumbers each day. So cucumbers are always gonna go in my garden. My third thing out of the top 5 must-haves that I will always grow in my garden, and at least try to, are cabbages. Now these are red cabbage, and this is a first for me for red cabbage, but I love growing cabbages. My family really enjoys eating them, whether it's in soups and different meals. We love to stir fry it. We love to put it into, we just like to eat it in bacon grease and all kinds of other stuff. So cabbage is really fun to eat. We make coleslaw out of it, and we really like it. I really like the way it keeps, and it's easy because I can pick them one at a time, and it grows really great here. I got a little bit of a late start this season. We'll see how it grows, but we can grow this twice here in Texas in the spring and in the fall. So I'm excited for cabbages as always. That's my number 3 out of my top 5. So let's check out what I'm gonna go to next. And my number 2 out of my top 5 must-have growing in my garden every year are peppers. I love growing peppers, whether it's jalapenos, which I have a variety of jalapenos here, or sweet peppers. We love peppers. We like to make jalapeno, put jalapenos in salsa. We like to make cowboy candy. We love to just pickle them and eat them raw in our foods. So jalapenos, peppers, sweet peppers, all the peppers, put them in my garden every year. That's number 2 on my list. Now, get ready, because here comes number 1, what I'll always put in my garden each year. Well, I'm down here among the tomatoes because they are my number 1 crop that I will always put in my garden. Even if I fail at tomatoes with a certain variety or whatever it is, I am always gonna have tomatoes in my garden because, well, frankly, I love them and my people like them. We like to make all kinds of recipes. They're so versatile and they grow well here. You can actually rotate your crops of tomatoes, maybe stagger plant them. There's so many things that we do with tomatoes, and I absolutely love them. We're trying new varieties this year, and I always encourage people, if you haven't tried a certain variety, just try it. What's the harm? You're never gonna succeed at everything, but you're definitely gonna fail if you never try. So now, talking about failures and maybe what we don't wanna try, let's get to what we won't put in our garden each and every year. Let me get off the ground here. Okay, now that I'm kind of up, but I'm really not up out of the garden, I'm sitting here next to one of my crops that I'm not gonna put in my garden every year. So this is the 5 maybe never agains, or just not as often. How about that? So the first one I wanna talk about are green beans. We don't plant beans every single year. They're always gonna be in my crop rotation. It's just that they're not in my garden every year. And it's important for us with a family our size that when we plant green beans, we plant a lot of them so that we can put them in cans, jars, whatever, and we put them on our shelf. We want them in our pantry for long-term storage so that we have this crop whenever we want it. It's just such back-breaking work for our family of our size that we just would rather have it every other year. So This is a crop that doesn't go in my garden every year, but it definitely makes its way in. So it's kind of one of my just maybe not as much as, but here's some of the ones we're probably not gonna grow again. Another one we won't grow again is cucamelons. They were great, they were super cute. I loved them, they were awesome. And a few of my kids really loved just picking them and popping them in their mouths, but Eric not so much. And the majority rules around here, and the rest of the family said, nope for cucamelons. So no more cucamelons, even though we're kind of cute. Number 3 of what we won't grow again, pretty much tomatillos. I'm sorry, I'm really hurting a lot of people's feelings out here, but tomatillos just didn't work for us. They took up a lot of space in our garden. They came and they just flourished. They were beautiful plants, but we didn't like the way they tasted. I tried all the different recipes you can think of, all the different ways to make green salsa, which just wasn't for us. And I even pickled them. And a lady at Eric's work loved them. But for us, tomatillos, not our jam. Now, another thing that I won't put in my garden as often are yellow squash. It's just, the skin is too tough for us. I don't love it. I'll definitely grow zucchini, but yellow squash, the crookneck squash, just kind of not our thing. We just don't love it as much as a lot of other people do. And so that's another thing we won't put in our garden. Now, 5 things I won't ever put in my garden, that's not really a thing for me. We always try different things. Eric's not big on corn because he doesn't eat it. But again, majority rules around here. And if the kids want to try something, I'm always up for a challenge. So that's kind of all the things I won't really grow again. What will you put in your garden each year? And what will you never add to your garden again? And remember, if you fail, it's okay. Just try it again. And you never know, another year may be better than the last. So join in the collaboration if you get a chance. And if you can't, definitely go check out all the great channels and the playlist that Dani's got going over at Wicked Awesome Gardening. This has been fun being in the garden, but now I have actually got to get back to work. The kids have been doing a lot for me, and I've got to get my garden planted for this season. And I almost forgot. Who loves wicked awesome gardening collaborations and really fun ways to sit down and take a look at what you're growing and why? Farmers' wives do. See ya.